You got to ask yourself the question, is that a real objection or is that a delay tactic? And this is actually what happens inside of your residential real estate career, right? Like you're working with people and what you think is actually an objection is instead a delay tactic, and they were never going to do a transaction. Oh, I know we're 6 months off, we're 8 months off, we're a year off. And one of the great challenges that I find with people is they go, I want to categorize the database. How do we find sellers who are 3 months off, 6 months off, 9 months off? Or how do we find people that are like hot or cold? I don't know. I've never walked into the office and said, hey guys, you want to get on the phone and ring all the cold people? Like that's never happened in the history of a residential real estate practice. So the secret is keep it really simple. And what you've got to do is you've got to learn how to deal with the objections. If not now, when? Like literally, why not now? You start having these conversations, and what you do is you put hypothetical questions towards people. And that's a great thing. Hey, look, if I had a buyer who paid a great price and they paid around $1 million, what would you do then? Like literally, if you sold this, what would actually happen next? Let's say you sold this one. Tell me, where would you go? And when you start working through those hypothetical situations, you actually learn how to overcome the objections and the challenges of the client, so then you can put the ball down on the level of success. Now, why this is so critical, right, is that I used to get these objections where people would say, hey, Josh, you're too young to be a real estate agent. So I thought, you know what? I've learned something that I'm going to actually bring the objection up first to see whether or not I can actually win the business. So, okay, great. What could I do? What could I do? What could I do? You know what? I actually had this photo of when I was there with my dad at one of the first ever open for inspections back in 1989. And I was like 6 or so years old or something, right? And so there's a photo of me and my dad out the front ringing this auction bell at an auction. So all of a sudden I took that to every single listing presentation and I slid it across the table. And I said, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. and Mrs. Owner, so great to see you here tonight. Before we begin, I wanted to show you a photo of when I first began in residential real estate. I'm nearly ready for my second lot of long service leave. Please don't let age be the issue. And can you choose your agent based on the merit of what they bring to the table in terms of their skills, their energy, and their passion for the industry? And that objection never ever came up again. The role in bringing up objections is you bring it up first, the customer can't do it. Your role is to actually learn how to do it. They say, you know what, Josh, you're not the number one agent in the area. That's okay. Mr. and Mrs. Owner, I've got to tell you this. Every number one agent had a day one. And the great news for you, this is not my day one. But I'm going to ask you a very simple question. What would it take for you to give me a go? Make it humble, connect with people, overcome the objections, get ahead of the game, and you'll win more often.